Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I started this last night, and I was going to post it last night, and I didn't get it done. This is the part two of Athach, or Talk. I don't know. I'm not how you say it, Talk, maybe. I don't know. But basically, it's a size huge, 20-foot tall, 3-armed monster, kind of like a giant. That's the book one, and here's how ours looks so far. So I'm not really sure. We know he's green. They wear hide armor, even though in the artwork he's not wearing hide armor. So I think what I want to do is I want to start by getting some, get some brown maybe. I don't even know. Yeah, I guess we'll get a brown. Now, I think this is kind of a reddish brown, but we're just using this as a, to kind of see what we're doing anyway. So let's get this brush. This is not the brush I wanted. Can't find the brush I wanted. Alright, there we go. Something like that, maybe. And let's start hitting some of him here. Get some ideas of what textures we made. Because sometimes you can't really tell the texture is perfect, can you? Until you get a couple colors going. Oh, good morning. I just woke up. It's a little bit before 6 a.m. Took today off. I do have some stuff I have to do, some data entry stuff for process control, but besides that, I'm relaxing today. I'm trying to get some caught up on some different things around the house. Still fighting with the pool. Alright. So I forgot to tell you, I did add some hair. And all that hair is yarn and super glue. And I just did that because I'm not sure why I did it exactly. Let's hit him with the hot air gun of burning. This is a +2 item from the time before. It's actually, after taking like 5 tries to make the attack or whatever it's called, after that many tries and having to throw so much away and so many mistakes away, this is alright. This is okay. It's not as It doesn't look like a store-bought mini by any means, but I'm not as unhappy as I was. Now, in their entry, it says they're wearing hide armor, and that's part of their defense score, or armor class, depending on what system you're using. Alright. I think what I want to do is wash this brush out. And I want to really lighten him up. So let me get a dry brush, a paint makeup brush. And a lighter color. And really, the main reason I'm getting into this right now, doing this right now, is because I think I want to use some speed paints to kind of change him into something spectacular and try to find any cool details that we can work with, since this is not a store-bought mini. And there's going to be parts of him that aren't great. So it shows that they're like light gray, or light green. So I'm not sure if we're going to do that exactly, but we're going to do something like that. The problem is if we try to deviate too much from the concept art, from the whatever example art out of the book, we're going to find ourselves with a bunch of monsters and colors that maybe we end up with too much of this or too much of that. So even though my ideal choice for him might not be light green, it might be the best choice for him. Okay. All right. Let's get that brush put away. The creation video on him was kind of long, but trust me, it wasn't as long as the few hours of messing up that came before. So he's not looking terrible. Okay, he looks pretty bad. We'll be honest about it. He looks bad. All right, so let's hit him with the +2 hot air gun of burning, aka this Vidal Sassoon, not a sponsored video. We could use a speed paint here. We don't have to, though. Let me think about this. I don't like using my nice brushes on junk. Let's consider getting a piece of styrofoam. There we go. And watering that down. And seeing what we can do with that. This is pretty watered down. Maybe a little bit much. That's alright. Now, this paint is called Green Skin. It's an Army Painter paint. Army Painter doesn't send me stuff or anything. I'm not like fancy. I'm just regular dude in the basement, but I do really like their stuff. So Army Painter, if you find out that I really like your stuff, please. It's all I use. And I am making the entire monster manual. I shouldn't say it's all I use. That's a lie. I use whatever the hell I have. But when it comes to painting miniatures, I just use Army Painter stuff. On terrain, I don't, use Army Painter stuff. That's not worth my money to do on terrain. Alright, so this Saturday, unless something stupid happens and ruins my day, we are officially starting the Tomorrow Comes Doom test campaign. I will, in that campaign, come out with any last tweaks that need made to the system. It will take a long time to figure that stuff out, because I like to be very thorough in my testing. But from the Star Wars, or I should say Star Wars, but from the Space Tomorrow Comes Doom system, we learned a lot. And some of the players had good feedback about changes that could have been made, and some didn't really have anything to say. But from things not being balanced or not working the way I intended them to, or people finding ways to easily break the system or to change the balance, and some of it I just outright did a bad job on. And that's just the honest truth of that. But some of the rules were not smart. But I think I learned enough to do a better job this time around on the system. I am very excited. There will be some new players joining the table. At least one, maybe two. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I pretty much have played the same group for many, many years, and we don't see a lot of changes to our lineup. So we did a swap out, got rid of one of the newer people that maybe wasn't working out great. And we're trying someone brand new, and I mean brand new. They played one night ever when they first moved in, or when we first moved in here. They came over and played a night, and I'm pretty excited. I like to see that look on people's face when they get 20s or pull off amazing things, or they help solve a big problem. And a lot of people in real life don't get a lot of opportunities to do anything spectacular, or if they do, they don't see those opportunities and they miss them. But you just keep throwing opportunities for greatness at people in a game, and they will nail it eventually. I'm not saying this person doesn't do great things in life. That's not true at all, but I'm just talking about the possibility of having a better life in a role-playing game than you can have in the real game, because of so many opportunities to break the world towards good. Alright, so I did get some green on the club here. Get that off a little bit. Not perfect. All right. Let's grab that +2 hot air gun of burning. Now, while we're letting that dry the rest of the way, kind of organically and naturally, and I guess somewhat, let's start looking at some of the different patches of this hide armor. So let's just get some different browns. And a cheapy brush. Whoops. And kind of pick out some of those different browns. And just follow those squares that we glued down to make this clothing / hide armor. Just kind of, we're not looking for perfect coverage here. We just want to hit those a little bit. Just to give him some variation. I usually try to be pretty inclusive and say him or her, but I think this one's obviously kind of a dude. Well, I mean, when you have an arm in the middle of your chest, I don't know where you would put your breasticles at. Breasticles, it's a technical term. Alright, let's get that brush wiped out. I got way too much paint, too many paintbrushes in my thing here. Gotta make some room. Give me a second. Apparently I left one in there last night. That'll happen. Whoa, falling paint. You guys never see off camera how much of a ninja I am. I drop shit all the time and catch it. I'm just like, ninja. Alright, let's get some of these brushes out of the water. So this Athach, whatever this thing is, he really did start out as a nightmare. I'm not exaggerating. This thing was like, I tried using cork to make one from scratch. Then I tried to build one with cork and I can't think what they're called, popsicle stick. I mean, just, then I tried to convert a toy, and then I finally ended up cutting up a bunch of cheapy toys, but just did not go the way I wanted. Let's see about lightening up that skin, what that's going to take. So I think what we're going to have to do is make something. to do that. Oh wait, what's this? I have that Army Green from Speed Painter, or Army Painter. I don't even think I've ever cracked this open. Well, I must have opened it at some point. Alright, let's get a piece of something in there. I don't know what I did. Alright. There we go. Oh. Mistakes were made. Medic. Ugh. Somebody was like, this dude didn't start out covered in paint today. Let's get him covered. Alright, let's look at this and see what it looks like. Looks like it's not still quite mixed all the way. Alright, cool. Let's try it. So, he looks like he's predominantly dry on his green parts. Let's get that all in that brush. Just come along here and lighten him up so he doesn't look so like Halloween cartoon witch green. We're not looking for perfect coverage here. We're just bumping up the higher parts and changing that tone so it's not so dumb looking. I could even go a little lighter on that, probably. Especially on that face. I'll lighten that up. Alright. Let's do something with these rocks. The one he's thrown and the ones on the ground. Get a cheapy brush. This is that pavement that I use all the time. I'm really sorry. I feel super guilty having to use some toys on this one. It's one thing if you're using little plastic animals or something that costs like fractions of a penny, but when I have to use any kind of like real stuff to do things, it makes me feel bad. I like my miniatures. The Solar, it was an obvious choice. There was no making the Solar. That was just not going to be possible. But this, I feel like if I could have had a better plan, we could have made this instead of having to get a bunch of action figure pieces. Well, really, it ended up just being two. The legs and arms came from one, that arm and the chest and head came from another. So I guess, and since I didn't really buy either of them, one of them my kids gave away and the other one I don't know where it came from, I can't complain too much, honestly. Could have been way worse. think we can get a little bit of water and kind of just stain his hair with this gray. You know what I mean? My brush is just a little wet and I'm getting some of this paint. Just kind of dragging it through that. Because that is, even though it's got super glue, it's just yarn. And it'll absorb that up, I think. And that's what I'm going to do. La 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 la. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I know there's a lot of better things going on in the world right now than me in my basement trying to make the monster manual. There's just so much going on in the world. And the fact that you guys took the time to sit here and hang out with me, that means a lot. It really does. Because I am not particularly an interesting person. So I really appreciate it. I hope everybody realizes that. I'm not exaggerating, I'm not being snarky or joking. Alright, what we want to do here is we just want to get a little bit of this. This is called ivory. This is one of them cheapy Walmarty deals. We just want to catch these tusks and his top teeth. That. And then what we want to do also is get something smaller and do his eyes while we're here, I think. I'm not sure how I want to do his eyes, but I don't want to use white for sure. I want to use an off color, so this is probably going to be the right color to use. I'm going to get a smaller brush though. This is just that Army Painter starter brush. Alright, we found something on this miniature that's got to be dealt with. There's a little piece of loose fuzz right over his eye hole. Alright. So I think getting that little bit of that wet gray here might be a smart move for his lower lip to kind of bring out that a little better. I should have had some red in their mouth because you can't tell where his teeth and the glue are supposed to stop because I must have, well, I couldn't really see what I was doing. That doesn't help, but so let's get some red. This is just Dragon Red by Army Painter. It's very bright. So this is probably a mistake. And let's get it a little thinned out on the edge there. Let's kind of just shove it in his mouth and see what it does. We don't want it to be an enormous feature of this miniature, right? So we're not trying to go too far with it. We just want it to be so it's a little bit of a different color in there, like a reddish pink color maybe. Okay. Alright, I think that did okay. We have this brush out. Let's keep using it for a minute. I don't really want to use this brush. I don't like using that one too much. I like that cheapy, crappy one I use all the time. This brush, I have no idea where I got it. I had a couple of these, and I think I gave some away. But now I like it all of a sudden, and I regret giving it away. I'm going to get some of this Army Painter gunmetal here. And I'm going to do that. Whatever this thing is, that bangle or whatever, that handcuffy kind of deal. I'm not sure where to go from here. Alright, let's hit him with the +2 hot air gun of burning. And try to make him look unique and different in some way that I have not yet captured. Something's got to give here. We got to do something. All right. We don't want to overpaint, because that's something you can do and ruin a miniature. But I feel like he's not there. And I can't find that really nice English ivy color I wanted to use right now. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Put it in the wrong bin. That is why. Alright, so I want to do something with the ground around him here. And all it is I'm just getting a crappy brush. Make sure there's no glue in it. Because I think I used this for glue the other day. I'm just going to wipe off some of that. I'm going to shove it down in here into the ground. Change up his base a little bit just to add some more interest and color there. I'm going to get a little bit on those rocks. Then I'm going to come back with a lighter gray. I'm going to wipe a lot of that off. I'm going to just kind of hit these rocks up and make them a little lighter. Don't forget you got a rock in your hand there, Mr. Athach. Now, seeing how much of an issue the Athach was, for those of you that are following along, we all have a homework assignment. We know there's creatures coming like the Etten and the Cerebus, and, you know, there's stuff we're just not going to be able to completely make out of garbage. So we're going to have to start collecting. All of us, okay, as a team. So let's get our heads in the game, guys, because it's a-coming. If we're going to get through this monster manual, last night we learned the ultimate lesson on that. No one died, so it wasn't the ultimate lesson, but... we learned that it takes more than just a handful of garbage sometimes. By we, I mean I. Because I did not share that journey, the first part of that journey with you guys to save you. To save you the agony of failure. I did not want that for you. I wanted better for you. Alright, going back to that cheap small brush here. We're going to get that little bit of that lighter gray we had left, and let's hit this gross Athach hair, I don't know, Athach. I don't know how you say that. I should probably look that up, huh? Alright. We definitely need to do something with his eyes. And we need a lighter gray. So let's get this cheapy brush here. Get a little bit of that light gray. Get a lot of it off the brush. just kind of touch some of the top parts of this rock with that lightly. Let's see if they show what color his eyes are in the book. No, they don't. I'm going to do stupid. So this is where a fractional brush pays off. You don't have to do eyes. I tell people that. And I tell my son that, actually. Recently I told him. You don't have to do eyes. You can just use a wash and color that in, and they'll know there's an eye there. But on these size large guys, sometimes it's good to do one. He looks a little cartoony and dumb. Okay, I know. I know. All right. Let's not make a mistake here. I'd like to lighten that green up one more time, though. And I'm not sure what the best way to do that is without making a mess. So if you're with me right now, I would say stop right here. This is good enough for your tabletop. But if you're with me right now, let's screw it up. Let's get that army green out again. Let's get our cheapy brush and wipe a lot of that off. And let's touch up that forehead there. And hit those cheeks. Come across his chin. And hit some of the areas where the brown showed through a little more than I wanted it to. Tops of the hands. This is a mistake already, we can tell. There we go. So drag that across that musculature there and lighten that up a little more. Definitely get his hands. His extra hand. I already got. Alright. Down to his little toes, the back of his legs. There we go. And I think that, as cartoony as it looks, is about as good as I can do. He probably would benefit from a wash, but that base is cardboard, and I don't want to do it the slow way. So let's take a look at what we got. Let's move this stuff into the garbage. Alright, let's move these brushes. Alright, so this is what we came up with. It came essentially from 2 cheapy action figures, some cardboard, some rocks, a stick, some hot glue, piece of cork for his back hump. So here's the official artwork. And here's what we came up with. It's not perfect, but I think it'll do. Maybe a yellow dry brush on this guy. Now that I'm looking at him, we got a minute here. We're already so long into this video. Hell with it. Let's go. Let's do just a little yellow dry brush on this fella. Let's grab a chunk of cardboard. What's that left over from? Anyways, and some yellow. This might be just what we needed, y'all. That might have been a brilliant move right there. Tying them all together with a yellow dry brush. Do we risk it? No. Not today, guys. Not today. Alright. So hopefully by the time I make this short in the thumbnail, I can go online and learn how to pronounce this word. Athach, Athach, Athach. Who knows? Let's see where the word came from, what the meaning is, what culture it's from. It might be another one of those weird somebody that plays D&D made it up from scratch deals, or it might be from history. We don't know. But that's what we came up with. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing here, obviously this was not a banger, but if you like what you're doing here, hey, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let's go. Let's get this going. Let's get some people learning how to make monsters. If you're making these monsters, hop on Discord. Show me some pictures. I want to see what people are doing. I want to see what your ideas are, what your take is. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection is not a prerequisite of a good craft. Look, when I put that on the table, they're going to be like, oh, shit. Does not matter that it looks dumb. They're going to say, oh, shit. They're going to not understand why that middle arm is there, and they're not going to understand that he has a rock and a club, and that he is going to have a ranged attack and a slam, and he's just going to be whipping ass. That's all they're going to worry about. They're not going to say, oh, he's cartoony. They're going to say, oh, we're about to die. That's true. I know. I've been beating people up for years in D&D. Better make sure that's clarified, in D&D. So anyways, thanks for watching. You want to get some miniatures from us? Please check out our monthly loot crate. It's amazing. It's really good. High quality, detailed minis. They're flexible. They're strong. They're resilient. I love them. We picked them out based off of what we want on our tables. And obviously, we can't afford to put big stuff like this in the box every month, or weird creatures that we don't own sculpts to every month. But we do put your basic stuff: bugbears, hobgoblins, orcs. You know, size medium stuff: knights, barbarians, Vikings, whatever. We do that, and it fills your table up nicely for an inexpensive price. And there's a discount code for a month off for 25% off your first month. Also, we sell some bigger one-offs of giant spiders and beholders and bears and stuff like that too. And those are on the website. So, hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Oh, let's look at them again.